Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Bill again, and this is the third and final part about building our MS-DOS / Windows 95 hybrid gaming PC. So this part is all about configuring MS-DOS. Now before we start, I'm just gonna say that this will be last video in quite some time. I gotta go back to work and I'm gonna be very busy. Doing a part-time course as well, some distance learning, so I'll be swamped with work. It was fun holidays, got lots of videos done, and hopefully I inspired a few out there to build a similar hybrid machine, and yeah, just have some fun with all this old gear. Okay, so let's begin. Now, I still remember doing this when I was a teenager. But I went online, had a look at research, and I just wanted to see what guides are out there, and I was actually quite surprised. Now, I usually don't say this, but they're all doing it wrong. The thing with Windows and MS-DOS is Microsoft was really trying to get rid of DOS. So Windows still has a config sys and an autoexec batch file, but pretty much all the guides I found use those two files, which means that you're loading drivers, then you go into Windows, and the drivers are loaded in case you need them. So it's not really clean, because you see, Windows comes with a CD driver, Windows has a mouse driver, Windows has a sound driver. It makes no sense to load these drivers in the hope or in the chance that you're gonna use them in DOS. So there's a much cleverer way to only load the drivers when you actually need them. And I think the solution I came up with is very elegant and very robust, and it doesn't touch the Windows installation at all. Okay, so hopefully I got your excitement up. What we're going to do first is let me just put it over here, we need that shortly. All the links, I'm planning on putting screenshots in the video so you can know where you can download the files, and I'll also put a copy paste of the startup files into the comment section of YouTube or onto the video, so you can just copy paste it. Alrighty, let me just clean that. That irks me a little bit. Okay, so we go to my computer, we go to the C drive, we go to Windows, and there's a file here, it's called command.com. We right click, we go create shortcut, there's our shortcut, and we cut that shortcut and we put it on our desktop. There's our shortcut. Okay, we'll just arrange that, and okay. Hang on, there you go, let's put that over here. Oh, come on. There you go. Okay, so let's rename this first one, and we're gonna call this MS-DOS with EMS memory. Okay, and then you right click on this one, go properties, go to program, then you go to advanced, click on MS-DOS mode, untick the warning, and click on this one. And what you'll find here we can basically define our own config sys and autoexec batch files. And what Windows will do in the background, it'll just rename stuff. So we don't really have to worry about it. It does it all in the background. So we don't touch the Windows configuration files at all. It'll rename it and then boot into MS-DOS. So to get expanded memory going, we type device equals C / Windows / EMM 386.exe, and then RAM. So let me just make sure this is the right file. It might be in the other folder. There it is. Yep. And you can see what else is loading here. It's loading DOS into the upper memory area. That's the extended memory driver, and that's the expanded memory driver. Here a couple of configurations, some temporary stuff. This is from the 3dfx Voodoo, so it sets environment variables. So under DOS, that the refresh rate is 60 Hz. And here also the gamma settings. I prefer 1.2, but that's really up to you. So you can define that. And there's also set blasting there, but we're gonna remove this one. I'll explain that to you later. Okay, let's click OK, and let's click OK, and just double click on the shortcut. And the machine will now shut down, reboot, and go into MS-DOS mode with the configuration files that we just provided. Now, we're not there yet. We still have a lot of more work to do, but this is basically the essence of how we're gonna approach this. And you'll see a message here. So Windows 95 is now starting your MS-DOS-based program. If you hit Escape now, you can still cancel it. So if we type in memory, we can see we've got expanded memory going and quite a lot of conventional memory available. Okay, let's type in exit. And what that does, it takes you back into Windows again. Now, if you are in MS-DOS mode and you shut down your computer and you turn it back on, it'll go back to DOS, and then you just type in exit again, and that will bring you back into Windows. Okay, so let's roll up our sleeves. What we're gonna do next is I'm gonna show you how to get the sound going, how to get the CD drive going, how to get the mouse going, and also how to speed up the graphics under MS-DOS. Okay, so and I'll need another one. So I'm just gonna rearrange my windows a little bit. Okay, so here we are on the C drive. So I'm gonna create, for the sound, I'm gonna create two folders. One we call CTCM, that's the plug and play manager from Creative. And we need another folder, and we're just gonna call it AWE64. And then you need to head to the Creative website, and I'm just gonna pop in a few images that show you exactly where you get these drivers from. Okay, so you grab those drivers and you put them, let me just go to my driver pack, Creative, there you go. So the CTCM file, you put that into your CTCM folder, and your 95 DOS app, you put that into the AW64 folder, and then you just run that one. It'll unpack. So that's the AW64 driver, and we also need to unpack the CTCM. There you go, that's all done. Okay, next we need mouse driver and a CD driver. So I've got them here. I'm just gonna copy that whole folder. So in here I've got a folder called CD-ROM, and there's the CD-ROM driver in here somewhere. Where is it? That one, vrd-cdd.sys. Again, I'm gonna just put in a picture with the website where you can download it from. Okay, and here we have the mouse driver, so in the subdirectory mouse. I've got two mouse drivers, the Qt mouse, that's the one we're going to use. I've got another one, the Logitech mouse driver, but we're not going to use that. I found I've got less issues with the Qt mouse driver. Again, just going to pop in a screenshot with the download link. Okay, so that's the mouse driver, and last but not least, I've got another folder. I'm just gonna find it, the tools folder. So I'm gonna copy that over. So in tools, there's this utility MTRRLFBE, and what that does is it speeds up the graphics under DOS. Works quite well. I did a benchmark, and without this utility I get 174 frames in 3D Bench 2, and after I ran the utility I get almost 360. Under PC Player Benchmark in VGA mode, the improvement is not as good, going from 60.3 to 68, but still, if you can get any free performance, hey, why not? And I believe that's all we need. So I'm just gonna close that. I'm gonna close that again, and we go back into our configuration file. So properties, program, advanced, and now I'm just gonna open my shortcut here, my config file. Now this I'm going to copy paste into the YouTube comment, so you don't have to remember any of that. So all we need to add here is the CD driver. So Control C to copy, paste it over here. So that loads the CD driver, and then we've got quite a few things to load here. All of this. So let me just explain what's happening here. Here we're just setting two environment variables for the Sound Blaster. Then we're loading the CTCM, that's the plug and play manager. Then we're initializing the sound card, and then we're also initializing the mixer. What is the mixer for? I'll show you. You can adjust this how loud the speech the sound effects is compared to the MIDI and so on. Okay, here we're loading the Microsoft CD driver. Then we're loading the mouse driver. Here we're loading MTRRLFBE to speed up our graphics, and then we go back to the main directory. So we're gonna copy that whole thing and put it down there, and that's it. Let's run it, and hopefully I didn't stuff it up and we don't get any errors. So after this we should have working sound, a working CD drive, a working mouse, and improved graphics performance. Okay, that's the CD drive, that's the plug and play manager, initializing the Sound Blaster. Where's the CD? Yep, the CD drive, then the mouse, and then the improved graphics. Fantastic. But the last thing, it didn't do that one. Not quite sure. Okay, we'll have a look at that later. Okay, let's have a look at our memory. So we've got 618K available. That's fine. Okay, let's see if some of our games work. So let's go to Doom 2. So I'm just gonna configure my sound. So AW32 330, and for the sound card, Sound Blaster 220, interrupt is 5, DMA is 1, 8, and that's it. Hit enter and let's see if it works. So you might notice that the sound is very loud, so let's just fix that. So we quit, and we go into the AW64 folder, and there's a utility called Mixer Set. And what I usually do is I put the voice down, because it's usually a lot louder than everything else. I mute the CD, I mute the line, I mute the microphone, I mute the PC speaker. Then with tab you go to this section. Here I mute the inputs for CD, line, microphone, and also here CD. Now the reason I'm doing this is if you're muting the inputs, it reduces the noise, and that's it. And because we put the mixer set, because that's in our AutoExec batch file, it will load that setup every time we play the game. So let's go back to our game, and it should be a lot more balanced now. So the balance between music and sound effects. checking, and pretty much we are good to go for most games. However, there's always the odd game that gives us grief. Let me show you something. So let's go to Descent and let's run the setup. Auto detect. So let's have a look. It picks up the AWE, yep, but it uses the FM sound. Let's change that to AWE. Okay, so let's test this digital sound.
0, 0, 0.
That's working, and let's test the music card. Fantastic. That's it. Save. Yeah. And what happens now is the game will actually crash. Oops. Ah, it doesn't. Well, let me think. Okay, no, I thought it would, because usually if you've got more than 64 megabyte of RAM, it usually crashes. But strange, it does work unless I remove this loop. No, I don't think I have. Okay, so let's go into game. There you go. So that's all working. Okay, let's try Descent 2 and let's see if that crashes. Okay, it's configured to 32, so oh well. Let's go into Descent 2. That's also working. How surprising is that when you find out that more things work than they should? So in Descent 2, there's actually a patch for 3dfx Voodoo, which I'm going to show you now in a minute. So this is the software version. So here the processor does all the graphics, and that's what the game looks like in high resolution. But the processor has to do all the calculations. It's not too bad, but it's not really super fluid. Yeah? So let's get out. And the way with DOS games, the way it worked, there was usually an executable, and you put it into the game directory, and then it would work with the Voodoo. So have a look. There you go. So it's D2 Voodoo. Now in 3dfx mode, there's no cockpit. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if this comes across in the video, but it's just so much smoother. It's a constant 60 frames a second. We also get texture filtering, linear texture filtering, and really good image quality. But back when that game came out, oh, the graphics were so good with 3dfx. And people didn't really have a computer that's that fast like the Celeron 300. They might have been stuck on a Pentium 133. So these computers had no hope of doing it in software. Okay, so let's get out of this again. Okay, let's type exit. So exit brings us back to Windows. And I just want to have a look at that configuration, because I'm surprised it didn't crash, because it usually with more than 64 meg it usually crashes. So right click. Program advanced. Okay, looks like strange. Not quite sure what's going on, but anyway. So what you can do now next, we copy paste that. For example, Private is a game that will give you issues if you've got more than 16 megabyte of RAM. So we can call this with 16 megabyte EMS. We go properties, program advanced, and here we just add the number 16,000. Okay, let's copy another one. Oops, there's a copy in there. Okay, let's do another one, and this one we're gonna call MS-DOS with XMS. So this will be only extended memory. So we go program advanced, and we basically just take out that line like so. That's it. And if you're playing any games that just do not work with extended or expanded memory, they want just a clean system, only conventional memory. So we do another one. We're gonna call that MS-DOS conventional memory only. Program advanced, and here we get rid of that line, and here we have to write no auto. There you go. Everything else we'll leave it like it is. Okay, so let's try that one with the extended memory. Now that late into MS-DOS, I don't think there were too many games that didn't work with all the memory managers. Okay, there you go. Let me just go into the AW64. Just want to run mixer set again and see if the settings, you can see the settings have all been saved, so that's fantastic. Okay, let's do what else I've got. I've got Duke 3D. So sound setup, I think I've done all of this. 220, 515, that's all good. Music card, AWE, let's test that. And let's test the music. Fantastic, okay. So this is running in 640 by 480, and a Celeron or Pentium 2, a really good machine for games like that. Not too fast so that you're running into issues or glitches with the speed, but also having enough crunch to actually handle the high resolution. This one over here. Anyway, I'm getting carried away again. And that's really it. Let's get back out of there, back to Windows. Now if you don't use the Sound Blaster, but another card like an ESS audio drive or on Yamaha based, all you have to do is put your drivers in the AutoXX section instead. Okay, so let's just sum it up. Okay, not quite sure why this bit didn't work. Maybe you can figure it out. So it just goes straight to Windows, but that's really it. Okay guys, that's really it. So if you made it this far, if you've been persevering and you've been watching all 3 videos and you've been building the computer, you should now have a really kick-ass MS-DOS Windows 95 hybrid machine, able to play a ton of games, and hopefully you learned 1 or 2 things along the way. And yeah, as I said, I'm going to be quite busy in the next few weeks, so don't expect too much from me in terms of videos and other contributions like in the benchmark database. But we all know how it is, and I'll definitely be back as soon as I have some spare time on my hands. Okay guys, thanks.